Hello everyone. Good evening. This is Dr.R.Thulasiram, Associate Professor, Department of Social Sciences, Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai. So today the topic for discussion is road and train accidents. This is one of the important lectures that is coming under the course Environmental Studies and Disaster Management. It is a 2+1 course that is conducted for the second year students during their third semester. The course title is Environmental Studies and Disaster Management. And this lecture is one of the important lectures that is coming in the second part of this course. Actually, this course consists of two parts, as the course title itself indicates. The first part is Environmental Studies and the second part is Disaster Management. So when you talk about disaster management, it talks about any disaster. It may be either a man-made disaster or a natural disaster. So natural disasters that you all know, some of the examples are earthquake, volcano, and flood, etc. That happens automatically, that is naturally occurring phenomenon. Whereas on the other side, man-made disasters are, as the name itself indicates, it is created by man by their activities. There are many man-made disasters and also natural disasters. This particular topic, road and train accidents, that is coming under man-made disasters that you all know. Let us move on to today's lecture. First of all, before going deep into this topic, we need to understand what is a disaster, because as I told you, this particular topic is coming under the category called disaster. And this road and train accidents that is coming under the topic called man-made disasters. On the left, you can see all the natural disasters, that is a scorching sunlight, temperature, if there is any increase in temperature, right? There may be some fireballs that can come from the atmosphere, and you may have acid rain, you may have flood, cyclone, glacier ice melt, earthquake, volcano, etc., and even forest fire. All these things are happening naturally, and these disasters are called as natural disasters. And why the name disaster is given for all these activities? Because it is found to be disaster because it takes lots of death. It kills lots of people. And it is not only the loss of human beings as in the form of death toll, but also there is a loss in property. There is a loss in natural resources. And of course, there is a loss in economic value. Say, for example, if there is a forest fire, there will be a heavy loss in that forest fire. There may be animals which may die in this forest fire. There may be loss of lots of natural resources which is available inside the forest area. Okay, lots of habitats have been destroyed here, etc. And if there is earthquake, there may be a building which may be a bank that may get collapsed. There may be a heavy loss economically in that particular area. And also that you can see some death toll. And if there is a scorching sun, if the temperature is high in any of the area due to some natural phenomenon in the weather of any particular region, because of this, there may be a reduction in the yield of cultivations of various food crops. If there is a reduction in the yield, that may again coincides with the economic value of a country. There may be inflation, etc. It is like a chain process. And on the other side, man-made disasters, as I told you, it is created by man by their activities. If they keep on building, if they keep on building some construction works, if they have lots of buildings in the place of water storage structures, etc., the water cannot be stored, and that will protrude to the city area, and this whole city will get submerged, and there will be a huge loss both in human beings and also in the economic value and some properties of the people. And there may be a terrorist attack in some of the buildings which may cause some death toll. We may also end up in losing some property and economic value. And there may be construction in the unwanted area by giving bribe to the government officers, maybe not everyone, maybe sometimes. So because of that, the place which requires to store water will have a building, and the water has no way to be kept inside the area for the future usage. and the city will be full of water because there is no discharge of water. There's no place for discharge of water when there is heavy rain. Even for a 5 minutes or 10 minutes of rain, even some of the cities like Mumbai and Chennai, it is fully flooded up, and there will be a huge loss economically, and also there will be a death of human beings. So this is called as man-made disaster. And this particular topic, road and train accidents, are coming under this man-made disaster. So first of all, before going deep into the topic, let me tell you something about accidents. Accidents are something that happens without knowing. It is uncertain that you will be facing an accident, and of course it is uncertain that I may face with some accident. So accidents are of so many types. You may have accidents in the space. There may be some crash of rockets. There may be aviation incident, that is plane crash. There may be a shipwreck accident. There may be a traffic collision between two vehicles in the roadways. There may be a collapse of a bridge which is being constructed by human beings. There may be some wildfires because of the human negligence, like discarded cigarettes, discarded matchbox, some bombs, or things that crackers or something that we discharge poorly managed crackers. Okay, lethargically people may remove these crackers from their household area to the nearby forest area. And when there is a collision between two trees, there may be a fire. And because of this fire, we may face a fire in the forest area. That may be also due to human activities. There may be arson, ARSON. Arson is nothing but willingly some person will put fire on some properties. It is just a pyronemia. Pyronemia in the sense it is a syndrome or a disease. Okay, just putting fire on a property, it may be a disease, and sometimes people may do this kind of activities because of, whenever they want to take revenge on others, because of the past history, some bitterness between two people. One fellow can put fire on the property of the other fellow. So that is called as arson, the criminal setting a fire with intent to cause damage for the property of some other person. And there may be a train accident or derailing incident. Derailing incident in the sense the train will leave the track and it will go off the track, and because of this there will be an accident. And also a train can straight away go and collide with another train which comes in front of them. So that is also a train accident. So these are all some of the accidents that we have in our nation. Right. So what is this accident in general? It is an unfortunate incident that happens unexpectedly. As I told you, it is uncertain that we'll be facing such an incident, and unintentionally, typically resulting in damage or injury. Unintentionally we'll be doing this. No, not many will do it intentionally, unless or otherwise if we want to die on our own. It will be coming under the category called suicide. And of course, if I want to kill someone also, I will be doing these kind of things intentionally if I am a criminal, but fortunately I'm not such a criminal. So what happens when these things happen unexpectedly? There will be a huge loss, huge damage, both in the property of the human beings and also human beings as themselves, they will be facing such losses. So this is called as accident. So the first category of accident that we'll be discussing now is road accident. So to some extent, I'll be sharing some of the important facts and figures of road accidents in our country, India, and also with the world scenario. Let us move on to this topic, road accidents. So according to Araman Giridhar, he is the Secretary of the Department of Road Transport and Highways for our country, India. So according to him, a total of 151,113 people were killed in nearly 4.8 lakhs road accidents across India in the year 2019. An average of 414 a day or 17 an hour it will take place. It is the highest recorded road accidents in the world. So he is Mr. Araman Giridhar. Just for information, I added this photograph. Now we'll see some of the common causes of these accidents, and especially the road accidents. The first and foremost cause, of course, all these causes are qualitative in nature. The first cause of these kind of accidents is overconfidence. The overconfidence with respect to the driver's mentality. 75% of the young men think that they are a better driver than the average driver. No, each and every young man, they will think themselves as a better driver than others. Now, this makes them to believe that they are the best drivers in the world when compared to all the other drivers who they may think as average driver. And 67% of young women think they are better than the average driver. So these kind of mentality will create overconfidence among these young age people. And that is why when you compare the age-wise distribution of accidents, this young age people, they cause more number of accidents compared to all the other age people, only because of the overconfidence. The second causes is mental distractions. Even with your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel, mental distractions dangerously affect drivers behind the wheel. Okay, so sometimes the danger may be a mild danger. Example, when you listen to a radio or a good music when you are driving, and there may be a moderate danger when you drive, when you're talking on one hand and you're driving on the other hand, and there will be a heavy danger, heavy risk of facing accidents. Example, using voice activated texting or email functions when you drive the four-wheeler or two-wheeler, right? So what you do, you will go for multitasking, so that will make you to get distracted from the driving process, and finally you may end up facing accidents. So this is the second cause. Some of the other causes of driving, I mean road accidents in India in general also. The first and foremost cause, important cause for road accidents are overspeeding, the leading killer on Indian roads. The first cause is overspeeding. Number of people killed as per the figures of 2016 is concerned, this exceeding lawful speed causes 73,896 kills, and overtaking the other vehicle that causes nearly 10,000 kills, and driving under influence of alcohol that causes 6,131. And this is the important reason behind the increase of fine amount for the people who encounters with drunken drive activity. Jumping the red light, jumping the lanes, 4,000. Using mobile phones while driving, as we have discussed correctly, 2,138. Physical fatigue as sleep sickness of the driver, the physical condition of the driver, that contributes for nearly 2,000 kills. And improper actions of driver, not wearing helmet, not wearing seat belt, that also follows as the other causes of road accidents. So the thing that we need to notice is the overspeeding is one of the important factors. Even in Dubai and all, in all these, Muslim countries, the rules are so strict in the roadways where they keep speedometers, electronic speedometers, in the form of a pillar for every 5 kilometers on the roadside, on the corner of a road. So where they can easily catch the people who overspeed with their vehicles. And there will be a severe punishment for those people. And we don't have such kind of things. I think very recently in some of the corporate cities in our country, especially in Chennai and Coimbatore, I don't think they have the rule. But Chennai, there is a rule. If there is overspeeding, the people will automatically receive a text mentioning that you have overspeeded in this particular area, and for which you will be you have to pay the fine amount of something and something. You will as soon as you overspeed the roadways, you will be receiving a text in which you will be asking for a fine amount. Some of the other causes are neglecting the safety procedures. There are 90% of all road accidents are linked to the human error, right? Some people, they drink and drive. There may be distractions, as I told you. Nearly 30% of fatal accidents, speeding is the main factor. Out of the total accidents, speeding is the main factor. And of course, there are lots of traffic rules out there. You are not supposed to drive fast. You are not supposed to drive in the wrong side, where we need to take the left and Americans used to take the right. So these kind of basic things you need to follow very strictly. Even in the four ways, you can see in our country, when there is a slow vehicle, that has to take the right, and the vehicle which moves fast in the four-way, they have to take left. And the another cause is the lack of preparation, starting a task before getting all the necessary information, even before wearing the seat belt, before checking the condition of the engine, before checking the condition of the tires, wheels, etc. That may also reduce some of the accidents. So what we can do for all these things, preventive measures for road accidents? The first and foremost preventive measures that we can take is we need to drive slowly. Because once we are driving slowly, if something happens, we can have some adjustments in the midway, whatever may be the reason. If we slept on the midway, if there is a truck coming, if you slept on, there is a truck coming on your opposite side, if there is a engine failure, if there is a problem with your tire or wheel, if one of the tires of your vehicle is just moving away from your vehicle, off from your vehicle, in such cases, you can still get escape when you're driving in an average speed. And we need to stop, look, listen, and then we need to proceed with our driving. And keep at least your hand on the steering. At least your hand, I'm telling you. Of course, there is a rule like we need to put both our hands when we are driving, and our hand coordination, right and left coordination should be like clock, 9:15 timer clock, as you can see in this picture. If not with this formal way, at least you are supposed to keep one hand on the steering to have a safe drive. And some of the other basic preventive measures, which includes we need to watch for the kids, and we need to watch for the school zones, hospital area, high courts, etc. You can clearly see in the roadways, wherever there is school zone, wherever there is hospitals, it will be mentioned with a board, specific board that tells like it is a school zone. There may be another specific board which mentions you clearly that it is a hospital zone. And whenever there is an important area where you have a level crossing, where people cross from one side to the other side, wherever there is a high road or government offices, buildings, you may have a speed breaker. Even when you are not aware of the speed breaker which you are going to have within a matter of 100 meters or 50 meters, still we will end up in some accident. So we need to watch out for all these instructions and also kids. And we need to perform engine maintenance regularly. Of course, all the showrooms are frequently advising the people, even minutely, they give you the exact kilometer after which you need to go for the next service. It is both for two-wheelers and also for four-wheelers. And look backwards when backing out, and be attentive all the time when we drive. Next one is this slide explains you the road deaths by age group. As per the data of 2016, the year, less than 18 years, they constitute 10,000 road death, and people who falls under 18 to 35 years, they contribute more to the accidents. Of course, it is one unfortunate thing. People who's between 35 to 45 years, 33,558 accidents caused by them. People who whose age range between 45 to 60 years, they constitute about 22,000 accidents, and those who are above the age of 60, 8,000, and ages not known, they constitute 5,000 accidents every year. And this is the source which I got from Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Some of the interesting facts also I need to include in this slide. Road traffic injuries are the first cause of death for people aged 5 to 29 years. And there are 139,671 people killed, and an average of one fatality per 3.5 accidents. That is, for every 3.5 accidents, there will be one death. The next big age group was 35 to 64, who accounted for 35.7% of the total road fatalities. That constitute about 49,000, nearly 50,000. Right. And the road traffic injuries are the 8th leading cause of death in the world, according to World Health Organization Road Safety. The first cause of death among children aged between 5 to 14 and among young adults aged between 15 to 29. And there are 1.35 million road traffic deaths every year, and 54% of death are pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists. Now, you need to make a note of this. And low-income countries, 1% of the world's vehicles, they constitute, and 13% of the total death that we see in the world. And high-income countries, out of the total, 45% of the vehicles are being used by them. Out of the total vehicles of the world, and 7% of all the deaths of the world, which is encountered by the high-income countries. Because since they are high-income countries, they have more number of vehicles. They have sports utility vehicles, they have motorbikes, which is of a high cc capacity, which can be driven with a high speed, etc. So these are the data which is given by World Health Organization and also Department of Road Safety. And for every 24 seconds, someone dies on the road because of an accident. So rising road fatalities, you can compare different states of India. Uttar Pradesh constitute most of the years, 2018, 17 and 16, followed by Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. And age-wise, as I told you, 18 to 35 years of age, they constitute more to the road accidents. And major users killed, as per the 2018 data, it is the two-wheelers. They constitute about 56,000 of death tolls, and car taxi, followed by car taxi, pedestrian and truck and lorries. Persons killed in this type of collisions or major reasons are hit and run, head-on collision, hit from back, and also with parked vehicles. The next topic in this lecture is rail accidents. Of course, rail can have a direct collision with the other rail, and there may be a derailing where the rail will go off from the track. So train accident, one of the cheaper, trains actually, it is one of the cheapest, safest and most convenient modes of transportation. That is why people prefer a lot. However, just like any other form of transportation, the trains are also prone to getting accidents. There will be mistake there also. This causes severe injury and multiple death because it is a big vehicle where more number of people can travel at the same period of time. I can tell you one interesting fact. The total number of passengers in India who travels in train in any particular time in a given day, which is equal to the total population of the whole New Zealand country. Okay, the population of the whole New Zealand country is equal to the number of people who travels by train in our country at any given point of time. So just compare the population. So more people are traveling in train in our country. And this picture, you can see the BIHER train accident, the famous train accident. Even in some of the South Indian movies, especially the Tamil movie, these incidents have been clearly portrayed by changing the name of the train and the name of the area, etc. In one of the Tamil movies called Anbe Sivam also, there was a scene which clearly mentions about the BIHER train accident. And some of the common causes of train accidents are, first one is the mechanical failure, like broken lights, problems on engines, or the major causes of the accident that are caused by trains, because there should be 100% light, okay, if you want to drive a train. And there may be a human error. This can be from the driver of the train. Train usually travel on different time schedule, lead to collision due to improper management. No, it is needed to be a minute one as far as the timing is concerned. This train has to move in the exact time where it was planned. If there is any change in the plan, okay, they'll be moving. If it is as per plan, it will be moving in the opposite direction. If there is any change in the plan, there will be a possible collision between two trains. And there may be some of the other problem also due to weather condition. Poor weather condition can also cause the accident to happen. If it is raining heavily, the engineers and the operators cannot perform their duties perfectly because they cannot see the train ahead. Of course, it will be so invisible. You cannot see the train all the time during poor weather conditions. And train crash, this could be single crashes where the train is removed from the tracks by force. Could be collision between two trains on the same track, it collides each other, or it could be a collision with another vehicle like a car or bus or etc. This could be due to the poor management in the railway tracks, where people who are working, who operates this lever, and they can close the gate whenever a train comes, and they can open it when the train leaves the particular area. So when there is any problem in this activity, when they are not working properly, when there is human error in these kind of points, there may be a collision between train and other vehicle which is waiting at the railway track, because they don't have any idea the train will be coming on their way. So there may be a collision. So of course, there will be a huge loss for the person who drives four-wheeler or two-wheeler. So this picture also tells a major train crash that happened in our country, in some of the North Indian states, where you can see there is a direct clash between two trains, and it has just taken off from the train track. And there will be a huge death toll, because you can see as the size of the vehicle itself indicates that there will be more number of people traveling by using this mode of transport. And since there is more number of people travels, there will be a huge death toll in this mode of transportation. Another common cause of train crashes are poor design of railroad crossing, leading to limited operator vision. And failure to blow horns at required distances, because we need to mention the people who are waiting after, some far away places, 2 kilometers or 1 kilometer, we need to tell them like train is coming on their way. So we need to blow horn at the required distances to keep them off from the track. Train running beyond speed limits, that is also one of the common causes. Failure to trim plants and vegetation that obscure train course. No, there are some areas where you can have vegetations in the railway track. Okay, so these vegetation have to be maintained carefully whenever it is possible. Otherwise, it will just hide the sight of the drivers, and there may be a human error. And malfunctioning during crossing, warning bells and warning lights. When these things may be a small thing, but it contributes more to this type of transport, that is especially the road transport, because it gives some alarm to other people. If it is not working, it will be highly dangerous. And there may be also an absence of crossing guards at dangerous intersections. People should be always there available to make some important arrangements. And you can see here, you can also have these kind of tracks where you can have a vegetation obstacles. These have to be trimmed then and there carefully, so that there will be a smooth functioning of transportation of railways. And this market is one of the famous markets. I think you all are aware of it. It is, I think it is in the area, I think it is somewhere in China or Japan. It is one of the famous market, maybe in Thailand also. So it is one of the markets. It is actually, the whole market is situated near the railway track. Okay, why I'm telling this is, if everything is as per the plan, we can avoid accidents. See the number of people who are working in this market, and see the train which is coming inside the market. So this area will be closed all the time whenever there is no train which is coming. So they'll be usually working as a group in this market. There will be transaction between buyers and sellers normally. So whenever there is a train time, whenever there is a train coming on its way, these people will just remove all these sheets at the top, and they will just make a clear way for the train to come inside the market. And the normal passenger train will move. Once it has moved the particular place, they will again start working as a market. So these are some of the examples that clearly tells that when everything is as per plan, we can avoid such accidents. So this is that market, just edited image that clearly tells it just goes through the track. The train is going through the track inside the market. So this is the aerial view of the same picture. You can clearly see how many people are living here. Just see, the train is coming. People are having shops. The whole market is inside the railway track. And whenever there is a train coming, approaching, these people will make a way for this train without any problem. Right. So sometimes there may be toxic exposures, that is collision and crashes are not the danger that people should look out for in trains. Dangerous chemicals and other toxic chemicals could be transported to trains, and the crash could expose not only the passengers but the nearby communities as well. It could lead to different type of illnesses that could affect the lungs, skin, heart and other internal organs. Most often these diseases leads lifetime treatment. And there are some precautions that we need to take, and we are not supposed to take some of the articles, some of the things inside a train. Offensive articles, explosive, dangerous, inflammable articles, oil, grease, ghee, paint, etc. All variety of dry glass and leaves and waste papers which can catch fire easily. Death poultry, game, acids and other corrosive substances. Empty gas cylinders may be explosive. Ghee up to 20 kg per passenger may be permitted to be carried as luggage with the owner. So these are the precautions. These are the advices given by the Northwestern Railway. And of course, there are some important helpline numbers on railways also. If we contact at the right time, we can get some emergency things. And especially we need to give complaint about the dangerous things that happens inside the train. Not for cleaning and all, that is not coming under a disaster. But if there is any train accident, you can always call 1072, because it is the helpline number which is given for train accident, and we can get help from others. Some of the preventive measures for train accidents: never walk along railway tracks. We can never expect the rail to come. Always look out for warning signs and signals. Only cross tracks at designated crossing area, not in all the area. Beware that the train cannot stop immediately. Okay, it needs to apply brake and it will take some time to stop the train. If a vehicle stops on a crossing, get everyone out immediately and stand away from the track. Then call the emergency notification number. So this is one of the important incidents that happens at Kasara near Mumbai. Recent train accidents. And there is another accident at Dehradun Varanasi Janta Express accident on Bachravan railway station at Uttar Pradesh. There are some 38 members died and 150 members get heavy injury in this collision. And that is according to the train accidents on account of human negligence. It keeps on increasing in some of the years and keeps on decreasing in some of the years. Indian Railways train accidents since 1960, you can see clearly it is getting decreased because the technology has been improved a lot. So it is getting decreased all the years. And some of the man-made disasters that I have mentioned already, just for a sake of summarizing, you can see here that the train accidents, derailing, aviation accidents, shipwreck, bridge collapse, structural collapse, all these things are coming under man-made disasters, including road and train accidents. So to summarize, these kind of travel accidents in general, not only road and train, all the travel accidents are quite common and which you cannot expect anything to happen, which is highly uncertain. An accident which involves a number of people becomes a disaster. Why it is called as disaster? Because it involves a lots of people, lots of damage with respect to the human beings, but also there is a damage of heavy loss economically. Example of these disasters are air crashes, train or vehicle collisions, capsizing of boats, etc. So this is all about the man-made disasters and especially about road and train accidents. So I hope you enjoy this lecture. We all will be meeting in the future course of time with some other interesting lecture. Until then, it is bye from Thulasiram. Thank you.